What if the reason why you're not closing sales has nothing to do with your sales script? What if it is how you explain things? The highest salespeople don't sound like salespeople, they sound like teachers. And once you understand this framework, objections start disappearing. Let me show you how it works. In this video, I will show you the exact step-by-step framework to remove objection before they happen, to make your offer feel simple and logical, and close more sales without sounding like a salesperson. No hype, no manipulation, just a structured clarity. If you are tired of chasing prospects and ready to have buyers who says this actually makes sense for me, then let's get into it.
Sell like a teacher. Now, one thing that we know about teachers are they don't force students to pass. They make them understand. And as a salesperson, this is the same mindset you must have. You must understand that when people understand the problem they are facing, the consequence of their problem, the solution, and the process, they will convince themselves to buy from you. So you must sell like a teacher. Don't force them to buy, rather, make them understand why they need to buy. When they understand, they will convince themselves to buy. So selling like a teacher equals clarity, confidence, and commitment. Once there is clarity, there will be confidence for them to commit to your offer, and that is what you want. That's how to sell like a teacher. So let's look at it step by step. So step one is diagnose before you prescribe, and that's the fundamental. That's what teachers does. Teachers never start teaching randomly. No, they first assess the student level. So when they understand the level which the students are, that's when they determine what to teach. Same as just like a teacher cannot just go to a primary school class and start teaching them further mathematics. No, they assess the level they are, and that will give them the idea of what to teach. That is what you do in sales also. You ask diagnostic questions. Why are you asking these questions? So that you can understand the level at which your customer are, your prospect, which level are they? Do they, because there are some customers that they are aware, they are problem aware, some are not problem aware, some are solution aware, some are not solution aware, some are offer aware, some are not offer aware. So when you understand the level at which your prospect are, that will determine how you engage with them. Number two, identify knowledge gaps. Now, a lot of prospects don't even have the knowledge know-how of how to solve their solution. So once there's a knowledge gap, you can teach them. That's why as a salesperson, you must be a good teacher. You must know how to explain. You must know how to teach, because teaching brings about understanding. So you must close the knowledge gap where they are missing in their knowledge. So understand their current situation. You have to understand that. Don't just go ahead and start selling. You must ask diagnostic questions. To when you're asking this question is to identify their knowledge gap and to understand their current situation. Once you do that, that will help you in your interaction with them. An example of questions that you can ask is that, what have you tried before? What is stopping you right now? What result are you trying to achieve? Back to my field, I am an advertiser. I run ad majorly for affiliate marketers. So one of the things I can do is that I can ask them, okay, what have you tried before? They say, okay, I've tried Facebook ad before, but it's not working, and I'm only getting bad leads and all of that. So that means that this person have run an advert before. And some people will be like, I have not run ad before. I've only tried organic means. I tried TikTok, organic content creation and all of that. So for someone that have only tried organic method, how I'm going to communicate with the person will be different from someone that have tried paid advertising before and did not get results. So that is the reason why you need to ask this kind of question, so that you can understand their current situation, their knowledge gap, and you need to offer a solution to them. So another thing that you need to understand is the reason why you need to ask this diagnostic question is so that, because when prospect talks, they reveal the real objection. So as a salesperson, you must not be a talkative. Rather, you must be a listener. Being a listener means you are asking question, and when you're asking question, you are giving the prospect the opportunity to talk. So when they talk, you understand their real objection, you understand their problem, and when you understand, then it is very easy for you to sell. So step two is define the real problem clearly, because the truth is many of these prospects, yes, they know that they have a problem, but they cannot really define their problem. But out of all your questions, you are able to, as a salesperson, you're able to gather all the problem they have, and you're able to tell it to them, okay, this is the real problem you're having. Now, just like I said the other time, that my prospect, say, okay, I'm not making sales. I've tried Facebook ad before and all of that. And I'll be like, okay, so how much did you spend? How much did you spend on the ad? I say, yeah, I only spent 5,000. I say, okay. So that kind of person now, the problem will be that you have not spent enough. Or the problem will be that they are working with, an advertiser that is not an expert, right? So what teachers does is that they define the topic before they explain it. Yeah, it's very important. And you must do that in sales. You must clarify the root problem, separate symptoms from the cause. So instead of saying, I can help you make more money, say something like, the real issue isn't traffic, it is that your offer doesn't convert. So when they see the real problem clearly, resistance drop. When they see the real problem clearly, resistance drop. So clarity removes confusion, and confusion creates, because confusion creates objections. Clarity removes confusion, confusion creates objection. So you need to remove the confusion so that the objection um can slide away. Step three is that you have to break things into smaller steps, and that is very peculiar with teachers. Teachers, they are known for simplifying complex topics, and that is one of the things that make you love a particular teacher. Many people don't love mathematics teachers because mathematics teachers make mathematics so complex, right? But people love English teachers because they know how to explain things properly, to break things properly, right? So if you love your mathematics teacher, that's because your mathematics teacher can explain well. So as a salesperson, you must know how to break things, complex things, into simpler, simpler stuff. So teachers simplify complex topics. So in sales, you must show the process in a 3 to 5 clear steps. Make the path look achievable. Okay, someone is saying, okay, I want to make, I'm running, I want to, like, maybe a client come to me and say, okay, I am into a sales challenge. I want to make 100 sales. I must be able to tell them the number of leads they need. I must be able to tell them the duration that is going to require. I must be able to tell them the number of training they need to, the number of webinar they need to do to achieve it, the amount they need to spend. So to once you are able to break down, complex things into simpler things, people trust you. And I'm going to show you a quick example. 300 sales in 100 days using a webinar. And the person was like, okay, how can I achieve it? And I gave this person a breakdown of how they can achieve it. You can see that this is a breakdown, right? So now this is what prospect love. When you are able to break down things to them step by step, they will trust you because it shows that you understand what you are doing deeply. And that is what people do. People trust people that knows how to explain, that understand things. You get it? So make your offer simple. Make your offer simple for your prospect. Example, to get client consistently, you need only a clear offer, a targeted outreach, a simple closing script. When something feels simple, it feels possible. Complexity kills conversion. So don't make your sales process, very complex for your prospect. No, make it very simple. Use simple English. In fact, if your prospect is a pidgin speaking person and you can speak pidgin, speak to them. If they are local dialect, if that's what they can speak, speak to them. Use that to speak to them. Don't try to, glorify yourself. No, make it simple for them, right? So step four, use examples and demonstration. And this is what teachers are good at. Teachers are good at using examples, and demonstrations, right? So teachers uses examples, case studies, demonstration. Same also in sales, your examples and demonstration is your proofs. Show them proof, walk them through real scenarios, use before and after comparison, right? So instead of saying this works, say here is how John went from 0 leads to 15 per week using this exact method. When you do this, it builds belief in their heart, and belief remove objection, right? So always use examples and demonstration. Step 5, handle objection like questions in class. Handle objections just like the same way it is normal for a student to ask questions after a teacher has taught a particular topic, that's the same way you should expect objections when it comes to sales. So as a salesperson, you must be an objection, you must handle objection with expertise. You must handle objection with expertise. And I think I'm going to create a series also on how to handle objections. So we're going to look at it in depthly, right? If you're interested, put it in the comment. Do you want me to create a series on how to handle objection in sales? So handle objection like questions in class. When a student says, I don't get it, a teacher don't argue, they only explain it differently. So when your prospect come up with an objection, I don't think this, don't argue with them, rather explain in a different way, convince them. So common objections and teacher response. If someone say it is too expensive, the way you can respond is that you can teach the value, break down the return on investment, tell them the value of it again, of your product, and tell them how when they get it, they're going to get a better return on investment, right? Another question is, I need to think about it. Clarify what part is unclear, because whenever people say I don't think about it, because something you said or something about the offer is not clear to them. So ask them about what is not clear and clarify it to them. Another question that people can ask is that I'm not sure it will work. What you should do is that you should revisit examples and show them evidence, right? So don't, if someone say I'm not sure it will work, don't get angry and go. No, revisit the examples I show them more evidence of how it has worked for people and how it's going to work for them. So objections are not rejection, they are signals of missing clarity. And put that in mind. Objections are not a rejection, they are signals of missing clarity. It's a sign that something is missing in their understanding, and you need to explain it differently, just like a teacher would do. So step 6, give a clear assignment. And teacher for that. Teachers, after they are done teaching, they give assignment, right? And in sales, the assignment is the closing. It is the call to action. So teachers don't end class with do whatever you want. No, they give a clear action, a deadline, and a next step. They will tell you, okay, do this assignment, submit tomorrow, ensure you do it, right? So they give you a clear thing what to do next, right? So in sales also, you must tell your prospect the exact thing to do next. Don't just leave them to do whatever they want. No, tell them what to do. Example is, here is what we will do now. We will start with X, then Y. I will guide you through everything. Let's get you started today. Once you do that, it shows confidence, and confidence comes from structure. So close with leadership, not pressure. That's how to close a sales conversation, by telling them what to do. So before I end this video, let us summarize what we have learned. We said the teacher selling framework: number one, you diagnose; number two, you define the real problem; number three, you simplify the solution; number four, you demonstrate with example; number five, you clarify objection; and number six, you assign the next step. See, when you teach well, you don't need to push. They will enroll themselves. And that is what you must do in your sales processes. Always learn to teach, always learn to explain well. As a salesperson, you must be a good teacher. If not, you are going to miss a lot of sales deal. I believe you have learned something in this video. If yes, kindly like this video, subscribe, comment your questions, and I'll be glad to answer them. See you in the next one.